Anytime a new Edgar Wright movie comes out, I do have to try and be not as biased since he's one of my favorite directors, but I'm going to do my best. Baby Driver is the newest film written and directed by him, and this one's supposed to be kind of a departure from his previous movies that were mostly comedic, because this is more of like an action bank heisty kind of movie. It's also his first American movie, well, at least to be shot here. And like this time, they got like an amazing cast. You got Ansel, Elgort, Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, John Bernthal, Jamie Foxx. They even got Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. But anyway, Baby Driver is about Ansel Elgort's character, Baby, who was partially deaf from an accident in his childhood. So he drowns out the noise with music while he's a getaway driver, paying off a debt for Kevin Spacey's character, doing these heists with varying groups of people, and then he ends up falling for this girl, and that causes plenty of issues on its own, so he kind of has to live a double life, even though he doesn't want to be a getaway driver anymore. Because of Baby using music to drown out the ringing in his ears, you're going to hear a ton of music in this movie with tons of different genres. And it's just probably one of my favorite parts of the whole movie because every scene that there's music in, it's like so perfectly well fit into the scene. And he's listening to stuff constantly. He's just not listening to it when he's a getaway driver. Like, he's listening to this music in his day-to-day activities as well. It's one of those movies, like, in the same vein as Guardians of the Galaxy, where they just have an amazing soundtrack, and it makes you want to go look up whatever songs are in the movie after you see the movie. And I hope there is a soundtrack for this, because I definitely want to check out a lot of it, because not a lot of it's well-known stuff. Of course, I have to talk about how perfectly well done every single action scene in this movie is. I think a lot of people these days are so used to those ridiculous Fast and the Furious movies as far as like car chases and action scenes go. So this one's a lot more like grounded and realistic-ish, to an extent, obviously. Every action scene in this movie is so exciting, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat like the whole time. And it's not just like, you know, car chases and all. Like, there's plenty of shootouts and all that in this movie. I mean, like in every heist movie, which is this is probably one of the better heist movies I've seen in a very long time, even though that's not really a movie genre that people do these days. Nothing in this movie is really repetitive either, even though there's plenty of action and shootouts and all that. Like, there actually is like an interesting plot. Definitely part of what keeps this movie so interesting is the performances by all the great actors in this movie. I mean, generally, you know, when you see a cast this, like, with so many stars like this, you think they're only going to have a few scenes each and they're not going to be in it too much. But they all are in the movie a generous amount of time, and they all give really great performances. Specifically, Ansel Elgort and Kevin Spacey, of course. But I mean, Kevin Spacey gives a great performance in basically anything he's in. He always steals the show. And he is a little less ruthless in this compared to House of Cards, but he's still pretty ruthless. And Jamie Foxx's character is kind of annoying at times, but he's supposed to be that way, so I can't really knock him for it. If there was something I really had to knock this movie for, it would just be that the romance in the movie kind of moves a little bit too fast for my liking, but otherwise than that, I thought everything was wonderful. So to give my score for the movie, I'd have to give the movie Baby Driver an A. This new Edgar Wright movie was just a great thrill ride from beginning to end, and there was not really anything boring throughout the whole movie. It's just a really great action movie for this genre that you don't really see too much these days other than like Fast and the Furious movies. And I really highly recommend anyone going to see this. But that was my quick review of Baby Driver. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Until then, I will see you guys later.